Today, I want to share with you some fun facts about Chinese names. I guarantee you will learn something you've never seen in any other videos. Let's dive into it. Let's talk about family name first. There are so many things I can talk about a Chinese family name, but today I want to focus on one thing, which is it's very common for two people who are not related to share one family name. How did that happen? So there are over 1.5 billion Chinese population in the world today. But guess how many family names we actually have? We have about 5,226 family names today. Unlike in the history, we used to invent and form new family names throughout history, but not anymore. So we got more and more people, but less and less family names. Usually that also family name is passed from father to son. Just to give you some sense, there are over 84% of Chinese population who actually share 100 most popular family names. Take my name as an example. My last name is Wang, right? There are over 22 million people have that family name. My partner who worked with me on these videos, his last name is Chen, who has over 60 million people share that family name. And that is not even the most popular one. The most popular one, I think you can guess it, right? Lee, Bruce Lee, Jack Lee. So that name has over 100 million people share that. And Wang as well. Over 100 million people have that family name. However, it's very, very rare in the US, right? Or in some Western culture. I barely encountered two people in the US with exactly the same last name and actually not related. That's fascinating. Because take the Game of Thrones as an example. If you see a Lannister, you know you're dealing with someone very important or just very bad, right? Or Mark Zuckerberg. If you see a Zuckerberg in the US, you know it's more likely that person is actually related to Mark Zuckerberg. But take to China, you know the founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma. If you see a Ma in your life, it's very, very, very rare that person is actually related to Jack Ma. Because you know what? There are over 16 million people have exactly the same family name. Okay, now let's talk about first name. So unlike the Western world, our Chinese first name does not really come from a book of first names. It's formed by the parents when they pick different characters based on their meaning. So in that way, we literally have infinite number of choices of our first names. So that is why it's less likely to see two Chinese person with the same first name. And also based on the meaning, you may know some very common Chinese names because of their meaning. For example, Yao Ming, right? Ming means bright. But today I want to talk about some name with more complex meanings, with some meanings that are more deeply rooted in our culture. Let's take a look at my name. My name is Liu Sha. It means flowing sand. You may wonder why you were named after an object. It's so weird. It's because many objects in our culture have been given a lot of great and complex meanings. Before I dive too much into it, I want to show you a picture. You take a second and take a look and tell me how you feel about it. So, you know what I see? I see bravery. This man, knowing the danger, knowing the loneliness, still entering the desert without hesitation. I see perseverance, because without company, without much water or food, still not giving up, still keep moving forward. I see a dreamer who left a home, who left a comfortable home and pursued a dream beyond the desert. I swear to God, I did not just made it up. Right? Those attributes were given to the sand or flowing sand by all of the great poets and writers in the history. When they see this view like we see today with their own eyes, they write down the article, they write down the poems. And we have many poems or articles about flowing sand. Here is just a sample. Reading that throughout our history bring us today. When we're looking at flowing sand, it brought us all those great attributes, all those great complex meaning and feelings that our writer and poets put into it. So my parents want to bless me with all those attributes by giving me that name. And this is just one example. There are some other objects as well. For example, moon. In Chinese, 月. 月 stands for pure, bright, homesick, and also missing someone. And bamboo, 竹. 竹 stands for strength, tough, perseverance, but also elegance. So next time you see a Chinese friend with an object as the first name, ask him or her, what does that mean? Or what does that stand for in your culture? There might be a great story behind it. It's common in the Western world, some parents pick their children's name from Bible, like Chloe, like Adam, right? So similarly, we were also inspired by some ancient books, articles, and poems. But instead of picking the name directly from those article books, we choose the characters which we like the meaning of. There's one example, 人. 人 is a very famous one because it's from Confucianism. It means love, empathy, and altruism. Because of Confucianism was really one of the most fundamental beliefs in our culture throughout the history, 人 became one of the most essential virtue. So when we hear about 人, we usually think about, okay, moral perfection, human decency. Now you can imagine when the children was given that word, that character in their name, that means the parents want them to grow up with love, altruism, and empathy. Not only that, they want them to become a decent human in the future when they grow up. And there are so many other philosophies and books, poems we can use as a reference. I cannot list all of them here, so I put some links below in the description. You can check them out if you want. In Marvel Universe, there are 6 Infinity Stones. One of them represents a different characteristic of existence. And we have similar concept in our culture as well. So there are 5 fundamental elements we believe the whole world are built based on these fundamental elements. They are metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Not only they can generate each other. For example, water generates wood, wood generates fire. But also they can overcome each other. Like water overcome fire, earth overcome water. So the belief becomes, we think one needs to have all 5 in them in order to reach the balance. Another quick context. There are some Chinese characters have 1 or 2 elements out of the 5. So if for whatever reason the parents believe that the children has 1 or 2 elements missing, they would pick the character has the missing elements and use that in the name. Now if you take my name from that perspective, you will see I have 2 water elements in my name. So I believe somehow my parents believe there's some water missing inside me. Maybe that's why I have very dry skin. I only mentioned the tip of the iceberg because there are so many things we can talk about in terms of Chinese names. A few more just to give you some sense. Like a lot of Chinese name was chosen based on some history events. And some of the names when you give them to siblings, you need to know their name need to be internally connected. And then there are some very important taboo that you want to avoid when you pick your Chinese name. I will make more videos to mention those topics, to share with you about those topics later. And so today, if you like the content, please click like button. And please comment below. Let me know what does your name means. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time.